We are live. Hello, everyone. Now that my kiddo and I have finished the course book, I'm going to share what our thoughts are about the Good and the Beautiful's preschool course set. While preparing for this live, I asked my kiddo for some thoughts and she happily shared them. So stick around to the end and I will play that recording for you. Let's get into letting you know that if you want to see a detailed, in-depth view of everything that comes in this course set, I have that video for you linked in the description box. And let's see, the way that I store these, well, these, if you watch that video or if you know, these come in a plastic like file folder kind of thing. And really quickly, that became impractical for us. So I just kind of leave them loose leafed. And the way that I store the course set is in one of these book bins. And I have a similar one, if not the same one, linked down in the description box for you. So I just put everything that she needs in here, and I'll kind of fill it as we go and show you at the end how it all looks so that we can just take it with us anywhere we go. Let's see. The flashcards, she did not like. Not once did she want to tell me what the name and sound was, which is what point of these is to say, have them to recognize the letter and then be able to master the sounds. The only activity that she was willing to do is the one where you hide them around the room and then your child is supposed to go get them. What they're supposed to do when they bring it to you is tell you the name and the sound and whether it's a capital or lowercase, uppercase or lowercase. However, she loved finding them. She loved matching up the lowercase to the uppercase. She did not ever want to tell me what the name or sound was, even in the activity. However, we would put them in alphabetical order. We would do all kinds of things with them, but getting them to master for recognition and sounds was not the case with those. These activities, she did enjoy the activities when we did them. Particularly this one, she enjoyed hiding them and doing them. These were a lot more helpful in getting her to tell me the name and sound. These activities definitely were. It was a hit and miss whether or not she wanted to do them, which is something we'll talk about later in the course book, but she really did enjoy these. And the practice sheets are what we're still working on, and I'll talk more about that later, but just a quick peek is just to solidify the learning. Okay, let's get into the notes that I want to share with the course book. So do I think it's better than the previous version? I have done the previous version with 3 other kiddos, and I loved it. This one I do think is better because let's see, in the course book, they teach money, basics of money, but they get into the penny is worth 1 cent, the dime is worth 10, nickel is worth 5, which is a concept that can be very difficult for children. So the fact that we start so early with it is awesome. They do recommend having some money in the supply list. I just used the money from an older sibling's Simply Good and Beautiful math box because I love that it's plastic. But hey, you might have fake money around that you can use with it. But I really liked that was added. I also really liked that in the preschool course set, we started getting into blending those sounds to create words so that whole connection of why we're learning these sounds starts to click. Once we started getting into this, and seeing that once we started learning all this and starting applying it to real life, there was more interest in doing the course. Do I think the course is enough? Yes. I personally do think that this is plenty for a kiddo in the preschool age group. Mostly because my philosophy is around the fact that kids are meant to play and they learn so much through play. And so I'm not really wanting to dive into a very strict or a very intense curriculum. So I like how simple it is, how it still brings in life things. It gives them fun activities to do, all of that. I really do enjoy how much goes into it. And we do have other things that we do with the course, which I'll show you at the end, but this is enough on its own. And let's see. One thing I do want to say is you don't have to use everything in the lesson. You can see here that some of them are X'd, some of them are checked, because if my child wasn't in the mood, I didn't stress about it because it comes up again later and they might be in the mood then. And also you're just kind of getting them used to the idea of classwork and bookwork and stuff. And a lot of their learning really can come through play and other things, particularly one that we like to use a lot, and I've used with all of my children that I've taught, is Leapfrog Letter Factory. I will have that linked in the description box as well. And it just does such a great job of teaching the sounds and the recognition. It's such a fun little songs and jingles that I have found that I often, when we're getting into reading, if they don't recognize the sound, I will start that little jingle, and by the part way where you're supposed to add in the sound, they usually can. So I find that video to be extremely effective and very fun. My kiddos have all loved it and learned so much with it. Another thing that I would make note of is, let's see, where did I? Right here, where did I put it? B. Right here, probably. Okay. So modify. If your child is not interested in doing an activity the way that they have laid out, work with them. Maybe adjust the activity, maybe skip the activity, whatever you need to do. In this case, it talked about tapping them, and she wanted to cross them off instead. Totally fine. We added some more O's. Over here, it's supposed to be cutting practice. She was not interested in cutting that day. So instead, she lined them up and then just did her best to trace them, which works just fine. It doesn't have to be exactly what the paper says. Do what works in the moment and what works for your child. For here, another example, cotton swab dots. I did not want to get out paint that day. So instead, I got a little stamp marker and we did it that way. I mean, it wasn't fully there on some of them, but we still did it. She had fun. The activity is done with a modification. It can be modified for you or for your child, depending on what is needed. Here's another modification example. We got going where she matched up the 10 with it, and then she wanted to cross out the one that wasn't. Then decided she liked the look of just crossing out the one that wasn't and went that way. So this is not 5, it's 3. Totally works. So we got the point was communicated, and it was modified to meet what she was looking for in order to actually accomplish the learning. My whole goal, especially at this age, but in general, is to make it fun for them. And so if a modification helps that, let's do it. One of the tips I talked about, so in the, or that I mentioned, I guess, the flashcards, she did not like them. However, with these ones where they also want you to have the child tell you the name and the sound, if it's uppercase or lowercase, this was not something she enjoyed doing. She just did not like being quizzed on that for some reason. But when I put little treats on there, whether they be M&Ms or cereal, whatever your child gets jazzed about, put them on there, and that will definitely, maybe under or above, but that gets them really excited. And then you will definitely know truly whether or not they have mastered it or not, because they want that treat. They're going to tell you it. If they don't know it, they don't know it because they want the treat. So they're going to do their best. All right, let's see. Here, we went all the way through the course book. And at the final assessment, I circled the ones she did not recognize. And then I put boxes around the sounds that we needed to work on. So here you can see she didn't recognize it or the sound, but once we worked through it and got it, actually using the Leapfrog sound, the letter factory sound, she recognized the smaller one and went through. So from here, we are working through the rest of the practice sheets. And when she finishes these, we will come back and redo the assessment and see if we're ready to move on to kindergarten prep. And that's just kind of how we're going to finish it out. So let's see, going along with, is this course enough? I think it's enough in the learning sense. If you are a family that needs the curriculum, maybe you're doing this with an older child who is of school age, because this isn't just for kids that are not of school age, but because if they don't know their sounds or their letters, they need to go through this course before putting them into the kindergarten level. So say you have a kindergartner school age wise, and you need your curriculum to last the entire year. I would suggest planning on using the preschool course as well as kindergarten prep in one school year, because the preschool course has 90 lessons, kindergarten prep has 30. So together they equal what a typical language arts level has, which is usually 120 lessons. So I would recommend planning on both in a school year if you need it to last you the entire school year. Handwriting is also often recommended to go along with any course, especially from the Good and the Beautiful. And initially we had, when we started this course, we had the purple pre-writing part 1. She finished it partway through, and then I was planning to wait for part 2 once we got into this one, but then I realized there's only 30 lessons in here. So we have jumped into it while we're finishing up practice sheets, and then we'll just let it continue on through this, and then however long it takes us to finish. Then we've got, let's see, and then any other things I have for you. I personally am spacing out. I'm holding off on this one as long as I can, letting her take her time with these, because she's not of school age yet. She's not at an age where I would require her to sit down and do schoolwork. So I'm just kind of taking it day by day. If she's not interested, cool, go play. If she is interested, we kind of are taking it slow to not push her too far. So let's see, are there any other notes I have? If there's anyone's here, any questions? No questions at the moment. Okay. Let me look at my notes to make sure I've covered everything. Yep, I think I have. So let me show you everything that goes in her box. We have the whole, not this one. We have the file folders, practice sheets, the whole course book, her handwriting, and then we have these motor skills books. We actually had also the Let's Sticker and Paste book. Oh, sorry, I have this upside down for you. Let's Sticker and Paste right here, but she finished it. So we're working through these. I do have all 3 of them linked down below for you if you are interested in them. And then the supplies that she has are scissors, scissors, glue, a pencil, and some twistable crayons. And I just keep these all in here in this box so that at any point, if we need to move school to another room or take it with us, it's easy and transportable. All right, let's see if there are any questions. Nope, nobody's here, but everybody on the replay, if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. I love being able to help you out in any way I can. And if you have made it this far, you are awesome. I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up, especially if you've received some form of useful information from it so that other people can also find it and maybe see if this is a good fit for their family. And if you are interested in other things on this channel, we talk about all things family. We are a Christ-centered home of learning, and we like to share what works for us as we strive to encourage you on your journey in life and family. All right, I promised you that recording, so let's get it up for you. Okay, tell me what you think about your puppy book.
Well, I like about it is because I don't really like this.
You don't like the practice sheets as much?
I like the pages, don't like what it is.
Oh, you like the pages, but you don't like what it is. What do you mean? You don't like the way the book is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you wish it was bound like your lesson book? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I like it.
You like doing the pages, you just don't like how it's bound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Did you hear that vacuuming in the background? Isn't that such a beautiful sound when you're not the one doing it? Oh, I love that sound when I know that someone is helping out to keep our house running smoothly. Okay. So if you are in the market for any other language arts courses, any other curriculum from the Good and the Beautiful, check out the playlist that I have in the description box. I have science units, math units, language arts, possibly handwriting. I'm not sure if I have handwriting on the channel, but if you are interested in handwriting, let me know and we'll see what I can do. If you are still here, would you drop a, let's see, what kind of emoji could you drop a star in the comments? Just let me know you made it all the way. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.